Hi John, just continuing my second screencast. Sorry about that, the internet dropped here. So I was starting to discuss how HL7 and standard terminologies make the application interoperable. So HL7 is designed to provide a framework and standards for the exchange, integration, sharing and retrieval of electronic health records. So it's there to support the clinical management, the clinical practice, and in managing the delivery and evaluation of health services. So for exchange of information and ensuring that that's transferred in a standardised manner. It's very widely used. Over 43 healthcare standards are implemented, from anatomic pathology to vocabulary. So everything is really considered within HL7 and has a place. Its mission is to provide a standard for interoperability that would improve care delivery. It would optimise the workflow, reduce ambiguity which can occur. People can be using natural language, so it has an approved standardised format for each term, and it enhances knowledge transfer as there's less chance of, misinterpretation of data. And benefits of healthcare standards, well, as you mentioned to us in class, it improves patient care, it improves the quality of care. Clinicians, it can ensure that clinicians have the latest knowledge. It improves their workflow. It can eliminate duplicate medical tests and improve public health reporting, and empowers people to manage their own health method. That's the ultimate goal of an electronic health record, or a record that's accessible to people, that it's been proven that accessibility to this and seeing how they're doing will improve their actual well-being and health. Okay, so I went through the advantages of HTML. I won't go through all that in the document. We went through it in the presentation. So privacy, security and trust. And then moving on. So privacy is really a system in place for the owner, in this case our patient, to protect the data and to authorise its use. So for example, your personal details, and within data protection, your date of birth, anything pertaining to you as an individual and your illnesses, you may not want accessible to just anybody. So it's important that these details are private. For our system, we'd have two authorised users. So we'd have our healthcare professional, and we would allow that healthcare professional to register the new patient and the next of kin. But then we would envisage this being extended, the privacy settings being slightly extended to, say, a nurse who would realistically immunise the baby or the child at latter stages. So we could envisage the system being extensible to see who could actually access it, and we could restrict their privacy settings by making it password protected. The system could be used also to store allergies, so that it would flag if a child is allergic to an immunisation or any particular medication. This could be discovered and logged during the immunisation period. Security of a system is very important, especially during transport and exchange of the information from provider to provider. We would hope would use secure websites with protected logins, some sort of implemented a secure login for the healthcare professional or the doctor. It would use public key infrastructure, or PKI. So that's used to secure emails with encryptions. It's also used to secure browsing. You'd often see it at the top of the URL. And for application within healthcare, it can be used to secure documents and a file system. So files would be encrypted. The public key then is freely distributed, and the private key is known only to the owner for this. So that's your certificate of authority that issued it. And a message can be encrypted with either a private or a public key, depending on how secure you wish to make that message. So when you're given the opposite key, you can decrypt the message. Trust of the system. People and organisations, so hospital or patients, who actually, it ensures that they actually are who they say they are. So if you're getting, if you're issuing reminders, say for an immunisation, to a patient, you want the patient to know that you are who you say you are. So say the GP practice is genuinely the GP practice, or if there was a batch recall on an immunisation and you wanted to notify your patients that they would trust that this is genuinely coming from the GP practice that they're signed up with. Trusted third parties can be registration authority, certificate authority, or the HSE. I think I'm just conscious of time, so I'm just going to go on ahead now and demonstrate the code. So let's go into lessons here. So if you remember our 3 user cases, I'll just flick back through them now myself, so I can get to them. So the first one was use case number 1, was to register a patient. So if you remember, that was the GP would log in, enter the username and password, register the new patient and the next of kin. They'd enter all the next of kin details. Again, that's because, well, the reasoning behind that was because the patient, in this case the child, doesn't actually receive a PPS number in time for their first BCG, so that's where that came from. And then they would take the patient's details, so you take the mother, and then it's normally the mom, but parent or guardian, and then they would take the patient details and register that patient with the mother. Okay, and then they would exit the system, so that's what I'm going to attempt to do. Let's run this. Pause this until it runs, so I don't run out of time. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is log on to the system, and I've already logged on as a GP, so I'm going to do that. And if you remember, the precondition for use case 1 was that the GP was already logged on to the system, or registered with the system rather. So option 2. So enter my username, which is and password is okay, I'm now logged on, and from user story number 1, I want to register a new patient and a next of kin, so I'm choosing option 1. Okay, so enter next of kin's first name, so Catherine. Address. Email address. Okay, and the system says next of kin added to the system, which is to verify that what you've input has actually been added. So enter the patient's first name, so that would be the child. So we'll say Harry. Last name. Patient's address is also preferred. PPS number, we'll say, is normally it would go on, the child would go under the mother's PPS number in the B for baby in the interim, and the date of birth. So we will say it's year, month, day is how we've done it. So we say 2013. Sorry. it also says new patient added to the system, so again that's a confirmation that that's been added. Now, use case scenario 2 was to update an immunisation, so let's give Harry an updated immunisation, and then I'll go to the table to show that they've been added. So I'm going to give Harry, I'm going to go to option 2, which is update an immunisation. I know it's entered there, that menu should really be changed to just update immunisation. Okay, so 2. So first, enter the patient's first name, Harry. Patient's surname is Marmion. Okay, and I'm going to pick an option. So this, the GP is asked to enter which immunisation. Going to Brigid, update. Please enter. Pick an option. Enter immunisation as the patient. So it's strange and why that's 2. Try with lowercase. Right, I don't know what's happening there. Okay, but anyway, that should ask you then what immunisation you want to update, and then would add it, and I'll confirm that it's been added. Okay, and let's skip to use case scenario 3, which is flag which immunisation is due next. Okay, I'm just going to check our tables here. So, okay, so I just want to check our patient table. Harry has been added to the system. There we go. Right, I'm going back into NetBeans now to do user story number 3. So, user story number 3 is the doctor logs on, enters the username and password, which we did at the beginning, enters the main menu. So, choose option 4, which is to view the immunisation schedule. So, I choose 4. I'm going to enter the patient's first name, which was Harry. Surname, which is Marmion. And this shows Harry's immunisation name and description, the age due birth, and I'm going to pick an option from the following. So what it does is it displays his immunisation record, and then it returns to the main menu. So if you press 0, I should exit the system. Okay, John, oh God, nearly out of time again. Okay, John, thanks very much. Mark is going to send you on the commented code to show which methods. We worked on all the methods collectively, but it will show the ones that we worked on specifically. Thanks very much, John.